All righty, what is up, everybody? It's your boy Soto here. I'm on time. Can you believe it? What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? What's up, Dominique? How's it going, man? Yeah, man. We got a lot to talk about today. A lot of stuff happened. A lot of stuff happened. Yeah, well, everybody's welcome here. Don't worry about it. Everybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome. Who's this guy? You know what? I don't let him jump in, man. Let him know what we're all about. How's everyone doing today? I want to make sure everyone understands we are very appreciative of you guys. We can't make it without you. We can't do it without you. Just want to make sure we get all this out of the way. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. Any Raider fans you see on the street, hit them up. Talk about all the content makers, man. I don't know if the other content makers are shouting us out, but I'll shout them out, man. There's Sanji, there's Graphic, there's the boys at Tape Don't Lie. There's Carl at Raider Films. There's a lot of dudes out there, man. Just show love to everybody, man, because you know what? We all need love. We all need to make sure that we're all part of the same family, all right? So we all got to show each other love. All right. So, a lot of stuff. You know what? How am I today? I'm doing pretty good today. I'm feeling good. I woke up, Raider Honcho, that's right. There's a lot of them out there, man. I'm going to shout them out. If they don't shout me out, I don't care, man. Everybody out there, I'll shout you guys out, man. I want to show love. This is what we're all about, man. This is what we're all about. We made some big-ass moves this week. We're going to talk about all that stuff. We're going to talk about a lot of things. I want to make sure that we get everything in that we need to. Hopefully, we don't take too much time today. But I want to make sure that we all get to what we need to get to this week. All right. So how am I doing? I'm doing great. I got a lot of stuff done today. It's only noon, and I woke up, I worked out, I came home, I took a shower. I already meal prepped for next week. Now, let me tell you something right now. You guys don't know what that stupid cartoon did to me, did to my psyche, right? I feel like that's what I really look like. Like, I feel like I look like I'm 500 pounds. I know I don't look like that, but for whatever reason, that's what the person who did the cartoon did. So you know what? I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to force the Autumn Windbags bank account to pay for another cartoon to be done after I'm all shredded and ripped and schmexy looking. You know how we do. So, got a cookie done, cleaned the kitchen and everything. Look, here's the deal. I don't understand this. I love to cook since I was a little kid. So, I don't know if any of you guys have a lot of siblings and, where you rank in the siblings. So, on my dad's side of the family, I have the most siblings, right? I'm in the older section of siblings, right? But there's a big gap between me. My brother's 2 years older. There's a cousin of mine that's like 3 years younger than me, but she's a girl and she hung out with her parents mostly, right? So my brother hung out with my older cousins, right? And then there was just me, and I'm kind of stuck. So I hung out with my grandma a lot, and she would teach me. She taught me how to cook. She taught me how to prepare, like how to prep food. She taught me how to pick stuff from her garden and how to survive on your own, how to do your own shit, and it was all fun. Everything was fun. You want to climb the trees? Great. Let's climb the avocado tree. And my grandparents grew up they lived in Watts on Elm Street. And let me tell you something right now. My two uncles killed me about this Elm Street Freddy Krueger shit. I was like 5 years old, and they're like, "Oh, Freddy Krueger, come and get you." I'm like, dude, I'm like 5. Like, what are you doing? But no, my grandma taught me how to do everything. When I wanted to climb trees and have fun, she made it into a game. Go ahead and climb up the avocado tree and grab some avocados. She told me which ones to get, which ones aren't ready yet, stuff like that, how to age them properly if they're a little firmer still. So it's like all these tools that I learned when I was younger, I'm using them still. I love to cook, but I don't understand people that cook in a dirty kitchen. I just can't do it. I just can't do it, man. I don't know. I just can't understand people that cook. Like there's this dude that like does films like little clips for Instagram when he cooks shit in an air fryer, and his air fryer is dirty as hell. I'm like, dude, how do you cook like that? I can't. I only cook on yo, man. Yeah, blessings to all the grandparents. Grandparents are the best, man. Yo, man, what's up, KJ? Dude, yeah, man, my grandma was the best, dude. My grandma was the best. Dude, I cook on cast iron. I personally feel it's healthier, and I feel the food comes out better. It tastes better. It cooks better. So that's what I use. I use this cast iron shit, and I don't think it's that hard to manage and to keep track of if you clean it right away. If you let it sit and dry up and cake on and like rust out and shit, yeah, it's a bitch to get reseasoned. But if you just keep up with it, I mean, it's really easy. All right, enough of that. No one wants to hear that shit. People want to hear what we came to hear about. All right, so we're going to talk about what we came to talk about. We're going to talk about big dick moves. We made some big dick moves this week. What did I tell you guys? What did I say? I said in the beginning of last week, I said, yo, we need to do a couple of things. We need to make sure we get some players. We need to make sure we get some players on our team. So first thing we did is we traded, we signed Chandler Jones. So the Chandler Jones signing is 3 years, $51 million. Not a crazy amount of money for a guy of his stature. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler, a 2-time All-Pro. Great signing. So what do you get in Chandler Jones that you didn't get with Yannick Ngakoue? All right. As much as I loved the signing of Yannick Ngakoue, Chandler Jones is, first off, overall, he's just a better player. Okay, let's just start there. So what he does, he's better at it than Yannick Ngakoue. Not to say Yannick Ngakoue is bad. I'm not disparaging his talent at all whatsoever. I'm just saying that Chandler Jones is better at what Yannick Ngakoue is best at. So there's that. Add on to the fact that Chandler Jones is a game wrecker against the run as well. He's just tough to block. He's very aware, and he's been in the right scheme and system. He actually sometimes jets out and covers the flat as well on pass coverage. I don't see him doing that often anymore in his early 30s. He's probably just going to be going and getting the quarterback and get the runner on the way to the quarterback. But yeah, man, that's a big signing for us. The main thing that we have to look at here is we got better, right? What did I end last week with? You guys remember what I said? I said, we need players. We need players on our team. We don't just need players, right? As good as Yannick Ngakoue was, right? As good as Yannick was, he was a good player. Chandler Jones is a player. When you're a 2-time All-Pro, meaning at your position, you're the best in the league. Not one of the best, not voted on, not you made the Pro Bowl because other guys didn't want to go or were hurt or whatever. You were an All-Pro. All-Pros, they're no alternates for the All-Pro. You're a first-team All-Pro. You're the fucking best at that position that year in the entire league. And he's done it twice. So this guy is a player. He still has plenty left in the tank. A majority of the year last year when he played, he didn't have J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt was hurt. So now having Jones on one end who plays the run and the pass, right? You have Crosby on the other end, who's a pressure machine and gotten better against the run. We need it. We need it. 40 plus TDs. A super chat, $2 super chat, 40 plus TDs. We'll talk about that, man. We'll get to that. Don't worry. We'll get to all this stuff. The big thing about the Chandler Jones signing is it showed me from the very beginning. I was talking to RJ about this, and we talked about it on the show on Tuesday. I was thinking that what the Raiders were doing was just hanging back. And what I say, guys, being patient is not a bad thing on the show. Being patient is not a bad thing, right? If you hang back, right, and just take a look at the landscape, take a look at what's available, take a look at the teams that are starting to panic because they have to get under the cap and they have to release this guy and they have to cut that guy and they want to dump this guy and oh wow, well we need to find this guy, but we don't have the cap space available. What do we do? Omar, what's up, my man? We'll talk about that, Omar. We'll talk about that. $5 super chat. We shouldn't have gave up more than a first for Adams. We need a top 15 defense. Well, we'll talk about that, my man. We'll talk about it. So, the first move was a good move because here's in essence, here's what we did. We upgraded at 2 positions with 1 signing and a trade. So the signing of Jones really didn't cost us that much more money because we were already giving Unique 13 this year. Okay. So 51 million is what? 17 million for 3 years. So you're giving them an extra $4 million, right? The cap already shot up a ton, right? So you're giving them an extra $4 million. You're telling me that Chandler Jones isn't $4 million better than Unique Ngakoue? I think he is. So there's that. Now, on top of that, you're getting a now I'm not a huge proponent, like I don't believe 100% in like PFF and their grades, but what they do is they show you around where that person is, right? So like if PFF says you're the top person in this, are you the top, let's say, are you the top wide receiver in the league because PFF has you graded that way? Maybe. Are you somewhere in the middle? Definitely not. You're still one of the best. You're up there. If you're graded that way, you're up there. Are you necessarily number one? No, but you're up there, right? Rock Ya-Sin was the 5th, I believe it was 5th or 6th rated corner last year in man coverage. So if you're, out of all the corners in the league, if you're that highly rated in man coverage, are you the best person? Are you in the man coverage? Maybe, maybe not. Are you somewhere in the middle? No, you're going to be one of the best. So we're getting one of the best man coverage corners in the league, right? So there's that. So in this signing, we get Rock Ya-Sin and in these transactions, and we get an upgrade to Unique Ngakoue in Chandler Jones. So great start there, right? Now, on top of all that, what we need to look at here is there's an arms race in the AFC West. And it's just been going crazy. Things have been going nuts ever since the trade for Russell Wilson, which seemed like ages ago. Oh my God, Denver's going to be this, Denver's going to be that. How are people going to keep up? What are the Raiders doing? The Raiders aren't doing anything. And then we just went apeshit. So the main thing we got to look at is this. What did we need going in? Where could we improve? And what do we need going forward, right? Okay. We needed wide receiver help. We lost our number 1 wide receiver. Who was Ruggs ascending? Yes, he was getting better. Was anyone going to say that Ruggs was the best player in the league or the best wide receiver in the league? No. Was anyone saying that he was trending to be one of the best in the league? No. He was a good player for what he did. He was a niche player, right? And let's be honest. This is what Gruden and Mayock did. Gruden and Mayock tended to get niche players to fit a specific role, especially offensively. And I don't think we can argue this. Gruden says, here is my system. I'm going to find specific guys to fit specific roles in my system. I don't care if they can't do anything else. I want them to fit this role in my system. So he's putting system above player, which is the exact opposite way you want to do things and personnel moves in the NFL. What you want to do is you want to surround yourself with the best talent and find ways for that talent to flourish within your system. Now, you're always going to have concepts. You're always going to have a theory, an offensive system, right? But it can't be so rigid where specific players can't flourish in that system because they can't do X or Y. You have to be able to, if they're good players, right? And that's the preface, they have to be good players. If they're good players, you have to find ways for them to flourish within your system. And that's what wasn't happening before. We were just getting players who did certain things really well. They weren't necessarily really good players. All right. So what are we doing right now? Right now, what we're looking at is this. The trade for Davante. How did it happen? How did it go down? All right. This was something that was rumored for quite some time. It was kicked around for quite some time. Bottom line is this. The money being thrown out there by the NFL has teams, I wouldn't say losing control or losing leverage. What I would say is they have to account more, they being the team's pronouns, pal. The team has to account more for treating a player as a person and not just a commodity. Now, internally, you do want to kind of separate yourself from that when you have to make tough decisions, right? I'm going dry now if you're talking so much. So, but when you're dealing with a player, you have to deal with the person as well. And here's where Green Bay messed up. Green Bay had a chance if they would have offered the same deal to Davante Adams last year. Davante Adams would have been perfectly fine. St. Cal Grizzly Raider, you got your boys now. You got your boys in the building. So Green Bay treating Davante Adams like he was just some other guy. Not signing him, kind of kicking him around, be like, all right, you're entering your last year of your contract. We're not going to sign you. We're going to blah, 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 whatever, right? Just kind of like, we'll figure it out later. We have more important things to think about with Aaron Rodgers. Now, is Aaron Rodgers very important? Of course he is. But you're treating one of the best receivers in the league like he's who he is solely because of Aaron Rodgers. And you're telling him, now, is Aaron Rodgers is Davante Adams gonna stand on the table and say, I'm more important to this team than Aaron Rodgers? No. But you don't need to disrespect the man, right? And basically push him in the back burner and say, you know what? We'll deal with you later. Just calm down. We'll just keep franchising you until we have no franchises left. And then we'll just throw some money at you, just shut you up. And of course you'll take it because that's what all players do is just take the money, right? All right. So Green Bay did all they could do to get on their knees and blow freaking Rodgers for the entire year and kowtow to him and do whatever they wanted for him, right? And Davante's sitting here like, yo, what about me? Like, I'm still putting up numbers. I'm breaking team records left and right here. He's got to be throwing to somebody. He can't just do this with anybody. Now, this offseason comes and they're like, okay, we're going to franchise you, Davante, because we want to deal with Aaron Rodgers first. Even in this offseason, what they're doing is they're like, look, this offseason, we're just going to franchise you just to keep you on the back burner while we take care of more important business, and then we'll get back to you. So they did it 2 years in a row where they put him on the back burner and made him feel less than. I'm not saying that a wide receiver is more important to a team than a quarterback, but don't make somebody feel that way, especially when that wide receiver is one of the best 2-3 wide receivers in the entire league. When I say WR1, people throw that around a lot. Oh, he's WR1. He's a wide receiver 1 in the league. Okay, there's a wide receiver 1 that can go to most teams and be the number 1 receiver. There are very few that you can say that's the top receiver in the entire league. Very few that you can say that about. And Davante Adams is one of them. And let's just stop this right now, okay? Before we go any further about his contract, about his age, he's 29 years old. He's going to turn 30 in December. This man is the reincarnation of Jerry Rice. He does not get open by blazing speed. He does not get open by obscene physical tools. This guy is a technician as a route runner. He has the best hands in the league, and he scorches people just by the sheer thought of lining up against them. Okay? So when you get this guy on your team, this guy, he changes defensive game plans. Okay? Davante Adams changes defensive game plans. Don't get it twisted. Think of, we're getting a bigger, faster, if you can believe it, better hands Hunter Renfrow, but the same route running skills. That's what we're getting. So if Hunter Renfrow was bigger, faster, and better hands, that's Davante Adams. Right? Of course, somebody has to talk shit. All right, man. You have your opinion, and I have mine. I think their skill sets are fairly similar. They don't get open by blazing speed. They're technician route runners, and they have great hands. You tell me what's different. Actually, don't. I don't care. Okay. So, we pull off the trade. Just to put it in context, okay? Just to put it in context. We gave up a number 1, right? And a number 2 this year. Okay, people might think that's a lot. Think of this. The 49ers gave up 3 number 1s and a number 3 to trade up to get Trey Lance. So, here's the issue. Do you want to use your draft capital to trade up to get someone who's unproven and who you project to be a great player? Now, if you're going to give up that kind of draft capital, you have to project that guy to be one of the best in the league. So you're saying that Trey Lance is going to be one of the best in the league because you're giving up 3 1s basically and a 3, right? Now you got a 1 in return. So basically you swap 1s, but you're giving up 2 1s and a 3. Okay. We gave up a 1 and a 2. That's it. Now, the contract that we signed him for was what, like a 5-year, 141 around there. In actuality, the contract is a 3-year, 67.5. So it's a 22.5 million average per year for the first 3 years. Now, why the last 2 years? The last 2 years are kind of like funny money years so we can negotiate extensions towards the end of the year and kind of like soften the blow if we want to extend. I don't see why we wouldn't want to extend, or we can move on from Davante if we want to. I don't see why we would do that either. but it's a very team friendly deal. I don't see 22.5 a year when Amari Cooper's making 20, when Nook Hopkins is making 21. I don't see that being a huge deal. So look, do whatever you want with those picks, Green Bay. I hope they work out for you. I hope they don't. I really don't give a shit, honestly. We're looking at something different with this team, and we'll talk about this later, okay? So that was a trade that went down. Now, what I want to talk about is Carr next. Who's next to sign a contract, right? Right now, what I want to say is this contract on the outset seemed like it was an obscene contract. I am of the opinion that you pay premium players a premium price because they are exactly that, premium players. Now, is Carr a premium player? I think Carr is a very good player. I think with the tools that we have around him, he can play even better. What does he want to do? Does he want to cash out, or does he want to further his chances to win? I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm thinking that Carr could sign a contract similar to Davante, where the numbers look like it's going to be about 40 million a year, but in actuality, the numbers are going to break down to between 32 and 35-ish around there. That's what I'm seeing. It's in that 33 range. That's what I'm seeing. The numbers coming out, like if he signs a 4-year extension and the numbers come out to, it's a 4-year extension worth, fucking 160 million, 40 million a year, right? But in actuality, it's really only 3 years, and it's, whatever that number is, 99 million. That's the thing. So you can exactly 541 Raider. The same, like the final 2 years of Adams' contract are able to be voided or restructured. It's a team-friendly deal made by a player whose best friend is his quarterback. They want Raider legends. This is a blessing. It is. Now, is Carr going to do the same thing? Probably. He's going to probably do something similar, right? They both grew up in the Fresno area. They both have ties to that area. They're both Raider fans. Look, if Carr does that, I will see him signing for around it'll probably be like a 4-year extension. In actuality, it would be probably like a 3-year 30-something million, right? Now, with Carr, I want to make sure that if anyone wants to talk about our owner, right? Getting to make sure that they look at what he's actually doing as an owner. None of these moves are being made without like the approval or the okay from our owner, right? Let's just not think that Mick Ziegler's got carte blanche and they're just running around doing whatever the hell they want to do. Mark Davis is being involved in this. He's being a part of this because they're giving out some decent coin and guaranteed money. You got to be okay with doing that. This is the difference between a team that's looking to win and a team that's continually looking to build, right? What were we building for? We're building to win, right? We have decent capital. We have decent structure. We have good players. If we can go out there and win, let's go out there and win now. What's wrong with winning now? What's wrong with putting these contracts together and lining them up so we can win now? That's why I never understood about how Gruden and Mayock got these middle of the road guys and paid them way too much money. I saw a tweet, and I don't know where the hell it is, or I'll put it up, but I saw a tweet where every single free agent that Gruden and Mayock, I think we're going to cover this in the show on Wednesday. Every single free agent that Gruden and Mayock picked up and signed is gone. And I would argue we're a much better team for it. This is my deal right now, guys. When you go out and you go into the free agency market, if you're looking for the middle of the road guys, you're looking in the wrong area, man. You got to go studs and duds. Say it with me, everybody. Studs and duds. You need to go with the guys that are going to be the needle movers on your team, and then the guys that can fill in those little gaps. That's what you need to do. So, what did we do? What did I call for last week on this show? What did I call for last episode with RJ? We need to get some players on our team, right? We need players, and we got that. We got those guys. We got one on offense, and we got one on defense. Now, some can argue that Rock Lasine can be a player. I would argue that we probably need one more in the secondary just to make me feel a little bit more at ease, right? So, what do we need moving forward? Now, let me wrap this up with Mark Davis, okay? Anyone who says that Mark Davis is broke and or cheap, you need to go ahead and shut up and go somewhere with that, because he's proving right now, Mark Davis is proving that he wants to win. He just needed to trust the person in the position that they knew what the hell they were doing. And Ziegler is proving to you right now. Ziegler is going in there and he's like, I'm getting the right guys that's going to be the right players for our team. And we're making we're paying them fairly, but even though we're paying them a good salary, they're still team-friendly contracts. All right? I want to make sure that we all understand this. We're not only paying these guys, but they're also good deals for the team. Now, one of the main things that we have to look at moving forward is, what do we still need, right? So, obvious need on the defensive side, we need linebackers, okay? We cut Littleton. We cut Kwiatkowski. We lost Morrow in free agency. So right now we have Perriman and we have Diablo. I don't know. The free agency class at linebacker, the kind that we're not just like an edge rushing linebacker, but a linebacker that we would need. I don't know. It's kind of thin, man. It's kind of thin out there. So potentially look at something in the draft. Draft isn't overly deep at the linebacker position. At the edge position, yes. So we do need linebacker help for sure. There's a couple of guys out there that we can probably get on the cheap. Dark Side of the Sun podcast, Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner and Denzel Perriman are very similar players. I'm not saying that Perriman is just as good as Wagner, but Wagner took a step back in pass coverage last year. He's shown that he's not as good in pass coverage. He is still an excellent run stopper. But I think we already have a player very similar in Bobby Wagner and Denzel Perriman, who played very well for us last year. Let's see here. What else we got? Kyle Van Noy. Yeah, he played. He balled out for Miami a couple years ago. He went back to the Pats last year, did well. He's another prospect that we can look at too. What else do we need? We also need offensive line help. So, offensive line help. There's La'el Collins is out there. The Cowboys couldn't find a trade partner for La'el Collins. So, La'el Collins, he's someone that I really want. Dark Side of the Sun podcast, yeah. We need We need a right tackle. Collins or Williams, yeah, they're going to be about the same price. But I honestly, for my money, I don't trust, especially now that we don't have a first or second round pick. I don't trust a rookie at right tackle again. We have too much invested in this offense. We need somebody who knows what they're doing. Trent Brown, I don't know. Look, man, I'm not opposed to Trent Brown. I know Trent Brown has played for McDaniels before. I don't know what kind of exit Trent Brown had with the Raiders. I don't know what kind of issue he left with them. I wanted to get to this too. The numbers, you said it about Brandon Parker being brought back. Look, guys, Brandon Parker is what he is. Am I mad at Brandon Parker? No, because Brandon Parker was never supposed to start, right? Brandon Parker went in there and he played like Brandon Parker. That's who he is. He's a backup tackle, a backup lineman who could jump in there for a couple of plays here and there, maybe even a half if you need him to. He's not a starter. He's not meant to play a bunch of snaps. That's not who he is. If Brandon Parker went in there and played really well, if Brandon Parker went in and played well, then you're thinking, why the hell did we spend a first-round pick on Leatherwood if we already had Brandon Parker? So he's not meant to play really well. That's why you drafted Leatherwood, right? Now, Leatherwood didn't work out and he had to get kicked inside, but that's another story. But Brandon Parker is what he is. Can he be an effective backup? Sure. There's some things he still has to clean up. He still has to clean up some of his penalties. He has to clean up a little bit of his technique, but we'll see. Denzel Good can bounce back. TD Slot, yeah, Collins. I don't know that Collins necessarily has a lot of bargaining chips right now because nobody wanted to pay him what he was making before. He was going to make around $10 million before. So I don't see him signing for anything close to that now. If no one wanted to trade for that, I wouldn't assume that it would be a high draft pick to trade for Collins. I would say maybe it's like a 4 or 5 if you wanted to trade for Collins with the Cowboys. But yeah, I like Collins. I think that he could be a definite a key for us. Trent Brown, by all accounts, has been losing a lot of weight. He's been getting that under control, but taking this really serious. Who knows? He got hurt last year again. I mean, when you see some of these big guys getting hurt a lot, they need to do a big thing. They need to do a big thing in their career. Whereas it's a new change of scenery, whether it's lose a lot of weight, change themselves physically. Leatherwood and Trent Brown, from what I'm noticing, are losing a lot of weight, getting in a lot better shape. As far as Collins wanting a big time money, I don't think he's going to want big time money. I'm sure he'll take it, but I don't think we'd have to break the bank to sign La'el Collins. He's a really good player, and I hope we can we can sign him. Yeah, La'el Collins has already been released. Let's see. Corey Ricard, hey, see, Leatherwood will be fine at guard. A lot of people said the same about Colton Miller. Roomies don't always come in and jump off. Okay, I addressed this last week, and I'm not jumping down your throat, Corey. Don't take it that way. But you can't compare the rookie years between Leatherwood, and Miller. Miller played poorly because he was injured, but he still stayed at tackle the entire year, right? Leatherwood played poorly because his technique is bad, and he just looked overmatched at right tackle. He played much better at guard, but still wasn't all that great. He still had a lot of mental errors and a lot of penalties. Leatherwood can play guard. I personally feel it would be better for the Raiders if they moved Leatherwood to the left side and have him play next to our best offensive lineman, who is Colton Miller, instead of having him play next to Brandon Parker, right? Have him play next to our best offensive lineman, and coach him up from there. No, Leatherwood moved inside. I mean, Leatherwood moved inside because he was getting beat like a rented mule at right tackle, and he was going to get Derek Carr killed. Let me just put it to you that way. That's how bad Leatherwood was at tackle. We chose to put Parker in at tackle instead. Right? So if Leatherwood turned out to be a good guard, then it wasn't a completely wasted bummer of a pick. He has a lot of improvement, though. I see a lot of Robert Gallery postings here. I see a lot of improvement needing to be made by Leatherwood to be Gallery. That's the deal. Yeah, man, I agree. Parker was bad, but guess what? Leatherwood was worse at tackle than Parker was. So also, I feel, given the quarterbacks and the receivers, the pass catchers, just in our division, right? You got Herbert, you got Mahomes, you got Wilson, you got the Judy and Sutton. You have the tight end who remain nameless. You have Juju. You have Hill. You got Cooks, Williams, and who am I missing? One other guy I'm missing with the Chargers. There's a lot of top end pass catchers and a lot of top end quarterbacks just in our division. So I would like to have another DB. I would love another DB. Now, who would that DB be? DBB? You down with DBB? Okay. Tyrann Mathieu still out there. He played pretty well last couple years. He played pretty good. Leader of your defense. He's 30, I think. 30 years old, 31, something like that. Stephon Gilmore was injured last year. Do you take a flyer on him? I don't know. I don't know, man. If you're going to give a guy like Mathieu and Gilmore a shot in free agency, Gilmore can't be given a ton of money. I think he's holding out for a ton of money because he's banking on his previous success. The thing is when you're 31 as a DB coming off an injury-plagued season, you're not going to be getting a ton of money. And I think, Todd, they're still working out the contract with Gilmore. I think that's what the issue is. If you want to give that money up in free agency, you got to be smart about it. And we've been smart about it so far. We've been the top end guys. Hey, the top end guys, give them the top end money, right? If Gilmore signs, I'm telling you right now, if and when Gilmore signs, it's not going to be a huge groundbreaking deal. And if the numbers look crazy, let's just wait for the real numbers to come out, and see what the actual numbers are for how many years and how much money. I don't think it's going to be a groundbreaking deal for Gilmore because there's going to be some, he's 31 coming off of a season-ending injury. He didn't play a ton last year. But that would be a great get for us. Yeah. Anytime now. I love it. I'd love it if we get it, right? I think the incentives are the issue. Yeah, honestly, I don't think Gilmore wants to have a ton of incentives on his deal. I think he just wants to have the money with very low incentives. I think what the Raiders are trying to do is trying to cover their backs and say, look, man, we want to give you this money. We want to. And that means if we give you this money, that means that you played well. We still got to cover ourselves in case, you're 31 and you had a season-ending injury last year. We got to cover ourselves. Yeah, Mathieu over Gilmore. I like Mathieu too, man. I like them both. Hell, if you can do it, if you can swing it, we've been swinging this big dick. I mean, dude, Ziegler, I don't know what you're doing, bro, but I'm telling you right now, you still have cap room, and post June 1, we're gonna have even more cap room available. All right, we're going to have even more cap space available past June 1. Now, here's the deal, guys. Remember this. We don't have a first and second round pick to have to pay. So we don't have to use that money to those millions of dollars that we're spending on a first and second round pick. We can go out and we can get a veteran guy with that money. Right? All right, this is an interesting question. This is what I've been hearing. If we pick up Gilmore, what does that starting lineup look like? Does that put Mullen on the trade block? I don't think so. Deion Sanders was asked a question during the combine when he was still with NFL Network. So it must have been like maybe 5 or 6 years ago. He was asked, what teams in the NFL need corners? And he flatly, just with the straight face, said, everybody. Everybody needs corners. You can never have too many good corners on your team. Okay? Trayvon Mullins is coming off. He's young, but he's very streaky. He's up and down, and he's coming off of a season-ending injury. Okay? So that would give us Averett, Hobbs, Rock Yassin, let's say Gilmore and Mullins. That's 5 DBs. That's 5 corners. I'm chill with that. That's good corner coverage right there. Safeties, we signed back. We have Abram, who's coming off of a season-ending injury, right? We have Merrick. We have what's his name? The special teams guy, the white dude. I forgot his name. Sorry, I'm all pumped up right now. But there's room for both Matthew and Gilmore on this squad, man. There's room for them. There's room for them on this team, guys. We can definitely play. Levitt, there we go. Levitt's more of a special teams guy anyway. Teamer's also another special teams guy. He's not going to really start. So, you know what? Abram would be a good nickel linebacker in this system. Yeah, he would be. As long as he's not covering anyone deep. Because we said, you know what? Bradley's like, look, to keep Abram from covering anybody deep, let's just put him on the running back. And then KC threw to like their third string running back for a 60-yard touchdown on Abram. So you can't trust Abram in pass coverage. You just can't. Gillespie. I keep forgetting about Gillespie. And I have high hopes for Gillespie. Kid out of Missouri, man. This Gillespie kid is good. He got injured last year, but kid was good. Yeah. Zay Jones got paid. Look, let me tell you something. In the third round, here's the deal, guys. Positions of need. We need a linebacker. We need DB, and maybe we need some more wide receiver help, right? In the third round, there is a ton of offensive linemen. We could still get a very good young offensive lineman in the third round. Let me tell you that right now. We could still get a very good young talented wide receiver with our third round pick. Okay. Now, here's the deal. Defensive tackle, there's like maybe 4 or 5 defensive tackles worth drafting that will make a difference on your team. After that, there's really not much of anything. There's rotational guys, stuff, nothing who's going to really make a big difference, right? But with our third round pick, we're still going to get somebody talented, okay? So let's not trip on that. Moving forward, what do you guys think? I want to open it up to you guys right now. I like to give you guys the last part of the show because I want you guys to ask me questions and just have a conversation about things. So let's bring up some topics and let's talk about what you guys think. A lot of stuff has happened this week. A lot of stuff has happened. A lot of stuff, hell, the week's not over yet. We still got today to finish. I want to make sure that. Oh, what do you guys think of my video in the gym? I had to sneak away and tell everyone to shut the hell up. Guys were hitting bags and like guys were working out in the ring. And I'm like, hey, get out of the ring, stop hitting the bags, go running, go do some laps. I gotta do a quick video. They're like, well, for how long? And I'm like, it's gonna be like 10, 15 minutes. Yeah, man. Quentin Jefferson signed with the Seahawks. I was bummed, man. I really like Quentin Jefferson, but he signed with Seahawks. Oh, Bob, my boy. What's up, Bob? Have you ever been more excited for a season? You know what? I was super excited for the 17 season after our 16 season. I was super excited. And that didn't turn out really well. Now, I'm excited, but for a different reason. I'm excited not only for the players that we got and because I don't know how the scheme is going to run. I've never seen this offense up close. I've watched some tape, but not with our weapons. It's going to look a little bit different. I haven't seen our defense run with our players because, I can look at tape of the old New England defense and the Giants defense from last year, but not with our weapons, not with our players, right? So after a year, I can get a better idea of what players are going to do within our system, right? I'm more excited, Bob, about the prospects moving forward of a competent run organization. We're not being run like a mom and pop anymore, right? I think what Dave Ziegler and Josh McDaniels saw in Mark Davis was what they had with the Patriots. Robert Kraft, an owner who likes to go to the rub and tugs. No, I'm just kidding. An owner who wants to win and says, look, I'm going to give you guys the tools. I'm going to give you guys the resources to go out and get me a winner. Go out and do what you got to do. Everything that we do is going to be with the goal of winning. I don't care what it is. Just as long as you can justify the spending to me, I'll okay it. If you can make it make sense to me, I'll okay it, and let's move forward and let's start winning. Right? We need to go ahead and get this under control right now. We're all about winning in this organization now. John Gruden was about John Gruden and John Gruden's ego. That's what he was about. John Gruden was all about proving to everyone else in the entire football world that he was able to do it again. And not only was he able to do it again, but that he was able to do it again his way. That's what he was all about. He wasn't about the Raiders winning. He wasn't about any of that shit. Because you could have taken this logo off and put any fucking logo on there. John Gruden was all about John Gruden winning and John Gruden proving to everybody else that John Gruden knew better than everybody else. So fuck him and his bitch ass. Mayock, you could be a cool dude. I always liked you on TV. You got a hot ass daughter, but your big splash free agent signings suck dick. Your first round draft picks suck even fatter dick, and you're fired for a reason. Now we got someone competent in upstairs that knows what they're doing. Not only you can tell by the way these contracts are structured that the front office knows what they're doing. So not only are they getting the right guys, but they're signing them to the right deals. All right. What else we got here? We sure have like we have them right now. Who's to say they're going to stick with the team? Right? You need competition. You need guys on your team. You need guys to make sure that you have some competition. You can't have your starting running backs taking all the carries in preseason and shit like that. You need to have guys on your team, and just so happens that these are low contract guys that know the system, right? And it's not a big deal. They're signing running backs that they know they can get for cheap, that they know they can run McDaniel's system. McDaniel's uses a lot of running backs, man. He uses like at least three backs. He's very specialized in his play calling. Primetime games. Oh, the Chargers for sure. Those MAC games. I think any conference game, any division game is going to be a primetime game. I don't see how any AFC West divisional game is not on prime time. I think the AFC West should have their own channel. The AFC West should have the AFC West channel on like Sunday Ticket, just dedicated specifically to the AFC West. That's an all-star team in the AFC West. Love to see forever. $5 super chat. Soto, thank you so much for saying that. Saying what I think about Gruden. You are super awesome when you are Soto solo. Oh, RJ, take that. Even though RJ tried to bury me with that freaking logo, I still love him. Let's see here. We have a backup quarterback too. Yeah, we got that kid that was I don't know if he's going to be our backup quarterback. I think he may be our backup quarterback. Who knows? But he knows how to run the McDaniel system, and he was a third-string quarterback. He may be our third-string emergency quarterback. With us, who knows? You never know. Yeah, man. Ziegler's trying to be GM of the year. He's making a lot of moves. All we got to do is go out there and perform. Yeah, we have a lot of tools, and that two tight end set definitely is a big tool. Well, Cox re-signed with the Eagles this morning. I like Campbell. How much is he going to want? He's already a little bit older. He's still very productive. But I don't know. Bro, you guys stop yourselves. I mean, now that we have a better defense now, we can do something against you guys, but you guys do a good job of stopping yourselves most times. Ask the Bengals. Soto, will Derek Carr be a top 10 quarterback this year? That all depends. It all depends on what your definition of a top 10 quarterback is. I think that he will play above. I think his play is going to be his play, right? I think he's a very good player of the position. I think having better players around him will make his numbers better, for sure. Especially even better than last year. I think he'll make his numbers better than last year. But I think his play is still going to be his play. But I think his numbers will reflect that he has better players around him. If that makes sense, right? I never thought that Carr was a bad player. I thought that he was an above average quarterback, but he had bad weapons. But now that he has better weapons and a better, I think, more sophisticated offensive system around him, I think that his numbers will actually be better. For sure, I believe his touchdowns will be a lot better. Hopefully, his touchdown to turnover ratio will be a lot better. Let's see here. Yeah. Well, that's why there's two tight ends, my man. One to block and one to catch. We really have to treat our tight ends like receivers, man. They're not the best blockers in the world. Can they get better? Of course they can. Of course they can get better. But that's not their forte. Their forte is getting them out in space, getting them out against an overmatched linebacker, speed-wise or size-wise against a safety. And they can both, Moreau and Waller can both hurt linebackers and safeties in different ways. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, man. Patrick Graham's a smart kid, man. He's a smart guy. He's not only is he very intelligent, but he's very creative as well. Sean Johnson. Have you seen our new fullback, Jacob Johnson, 6'3", 220? He was for the Pats last year. You can bring him down. He's a beast and an excellent blocker. Yeah, I mean, this is a reason why we let Ingold go is he was a decent blocker, but he was more of like a do everything type of guy. That was more of a Gruden type guy that he wanted, like a flexible type of fullback. In McDaniel's system, my fullback blocks. That's it. He is basically another offensive lineman that can move, that I can put on the move, right? And that's Jacob Johnson to a T. He's a big bruiser. He knows how to block. He knows how to stick his head in there and really get some penetration. Get it? And yeah, I'm looking for big things from our running game next year as well. Let's see here. What else? Well, looks like we're winding down a little bit here. I don't know about that, man. That's a lot of touchdowns. 50 touchdowns is a grip. I don't know that the touchdowns are going to be that quite as high, because I do honestly believe that our running game is going to get much better. And we have a few running backs now that can really hurt you. So I see our running backs making a lot more noise this year as well. Yeah, exactly. TD slide. Foster, Moreau, and Waller are not here to block. They're here to catch passes, man. They're best in space. They're not best in line. Yeah, the last year that Carr and Davante Adams were in college together, Davante Adams caught 24 touchdowns, and Carr threw like 50 touchdowns. It's freaking crazy. Hyperbolic. I love it. How everyone now saying Adams' career will be wasted in Vegas. They never respected the Raiders, no matter what player we get. Bro, it's just the way it is, man. Like I like the hate, dude. I like the hate because it just makes me laugh now. People are saying, "Oh, the Raiders gave up way too much and for Adams." I'm like, dude, what are you guys talking about, dude? He's like WR1 in the league. And then they're like, oh, well, he's 30. He's going to be 30 years old this year. He's 29. He's going to be 30. You gave him a 5-year deal? No, we gave him a 3-year deal. What do you have to say now? Well, he's not that good, and he's going to take a step back because Carr is throwing to him. You know, everyone's going to find an excuse, bro. Everyone's going to find an excuse, right? And they're like assholes. Everyone has one, and they all stink. So who cares? I don't care, man. Let them talk all we want. We're going to go out there and we're going to win games. Let's see. Well, I think we're winding down, guys. We have about an hour. I really want to thank you guys. Tone, what's up, man? You guys are making this the most fun I have, almost. The most fun I have all week. The amount of time that I spend prepping for these shows is like some of the funnest time that I have all week, man. I love watching football. I love like keeping up with the ticker on Twitter. I love talking football with anyone I can talk to, right? I love interacting with you guys. I just love talking Raiders, man. I want to make sure that each one of you guys understand that you guys are the reason why we do all this, man. You guys are the reason why we do all this. We got ourselves some players. We have room for more players. And we're just going to keep going up, guys. The future looks bright for us. Now we have to go out there and win. Everything in life starts with expectations, right? Biggest concerns. What are my biggest concerns about the Raiders? My biggest concerns about the Raiders are, really injuries. If we go out there and play the way we should play, with our roster fairly intact, because we had a lot of injuries last year. The injury bug bit us bad last year. Not only the injury bug, but also the Ruggs thing. Like, we had a lot of crap happen bad to us last year. We're due to have a good season happen to us this year. So, talk Raiders, man. Feel good about yourselves. The future looks good. We're making good moves. We're doing things to help our team become better now and in the future. All right. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to tell all your friends about us. Tell all your haters. Tell your mama. Tell your neighbors. Anyone you see wearing Raiders gear, talk about the Windbags. Talk about everybody else out there as well. There's a lot of good Raider content makers out there. I shouted you guys out in the beginning. You get mad love for me, guys. So I appreciate you all. Guys, have a great weekend. We'll see you guys during the midweek show. And above all else, everyone, like I always say, go Raiders.